Matt Walsh is a right-winger in media, and so you're not gonna be surprised to find out that he neither understands nor acknowledges climate change. That's pretty stock at this point. But he goes way beyond that in his ignorance and his misinformation. Take a look at what he decided to tweet recently. Remember when they spent years telling us to panic over the hole in the ozone layer and then suddenly just stopped talking about it and nobody ever mentioned the ozone layer again? That's not it though. This was also back during the time when they scared school children into believing that acid rain was a real and urgent threat. Now look, is it possible that we live in a world where Matt Walsh is genuinely dumb enough to not have any idea about how stupid those tweets are? I will acknowledge that we might live in that world. He seems pretty enthusiastically ignorant. I think a more likely explanation though is that he really thinks his fans are ignorant and he likes it and wants them to stay that way. And so he is being paid by millionaires and billionaires to openly lie by cosplaying Comic-Con style as the dumbest man to ever live. He might be the dumbest man to ever live, but I'm going to extend him the credit. I'm going to do an olive branch and assume that he's just grifting that he's this stupid. Now we're gonna break down scientifically why those tweets might be the dumbest things ever posted on Twitter. But Rayyvana, I know I think that you've commented on Matt Walsh a time or two as well. What do you think about these?
Yeah, I think that Matt Walsh somehow manages to maintain the title of creepiest person at Daily Wire, and his competition is pretty stiff. I mean, you've got Ben Shapiro and Michael Knowles, who looks like if a magician was also a sex predator, and still somehow, Matt Walsh is taking the cake. I'm sorry, the way that he has engaged with trans people online is, and through his documentary, one of the most disgusting things I've seen promoted recently. And he also loves to promote his disgusting transphobic movie documentary on our videos. On all of our videos, which is just showing how much money they have to throw away because you're literally targeting an audience that will never watch your movie instead of spending your money, allocating your resources to promoting your movie to transphobes who will watch it. But I digress. Disgusting. He sucks.
My garbage person of the week. My garbage person of the week is Matt Walsh, who sucks a whole ton for a bunch of reasons, not the least of which is his recent attempt to talk trash about a children's hospital using straight up lies about it. And then now he's hilariously flailing after everyone called him out for doing things like calling people to arms, which resulted in bomb threats being made against the children's hospital. Every part of it is equal parts terrifying and cathartic at the end when you see him flail. But first, here's what he said, followed by the consequences. Take a look.
Children's hospitals around the country are butchering, mutilating, and sterilizing their young patients. So according to Boston Children's Hospital, literally every toddler who has ever been born or will ever be born is trans. And they've done it up until this moment without much resistance from the public. But that has to end. We have to stop making it so easy on them. And that's why I'm in the very early stages of trying to organize a national coordinated effort to fight back against this evil. It's really just a matter of where do we begin? Maybe we begin at Boston Children's Hospital.
Boston Children's Hospital says its staff is being threatened and harassed now after far-right activists on social media posted misinformation, claiming they performed gender-affirming hysterectomy procedures on young girls. The hospital says it's not true. They do not perform those procedures.
So there you go. Shout out to the Serfs and Media Matters for putting all that together and sharing it with people. But folks heard that and then they went to the Children's Hospital and called in a bomb threat. And Matt Walsh knows he's in trouble and he knows he can't acknowledge any of it. And what's most hilarious is his response to it. So he tweeted this. This is his out. This is what he thinks exonerates him. Last night, thousands of idiot leftists were absurdly blaming me and libs of TikTok for a bomb threat at Boston Children's. Today, the story has disappeared because police quickly determined the whole thing was a false alarm, and don't expect we'll get any apologies though. He thinks that because it was a fake bomb threat, it isn't really a bomb threat at all until his people plant actual bombs at Children's Hospital. He says he takes no responsibility for any consequences.
Yeah.
What a sweetheart.
I want to tweak what you said. It's not a fake bomb threat. It's a bomb threat. It's a bomb threat whether there ends up being a bomb or not. It doesn't require an actual bomb to shut down the operations of a hospital, to fill a staff of hundreds with fear that they might die at any second. That's what a bomb threat does, whether there's a bomb or not. That's what they're doing. It's a coordinated harassment campaign. In this particular case, they didn't blow up a hospital, which is great, but they are trying to drive these people out of the industry, to try to shut these places down. He's doing it on purpose. He knows that all these are lies. He doesn't care. He didn't. What was 5 years ago? Was he talking about this? No, they've decided this is the thing we're gonna do to try to bamboozle our audience into not thinking about their income, their ability to retire, their ability to buy a home, their ability to pay for health insurance. We don't want them focused on that stuff. We need something, and thus, I don't know, I guess children's hospitals are the new boogeyman. And that's why I'm in the early stages of starting a national campaign so that we can do more fake or more bomb threats at these places.